Hey everyone, Max back. A little special event here. Siege of Winterfell. I'm going to do a little advice that goes into just not even advice. I'm just going to show you how I put my my team together, my commanders together, and just kind of go over why I'm doing so. Kind of a follow-up to the previous video that I did about the commanders. As you can see, we're DKK and we're facing FDH. Not really a fair matchup. As I click in here, and you can see 68 billion to 35 is not really a fair matchup. Plus, they usually bring about I want to say 70 to 80 people or castles into their events, where we're lucky if we get like maybe 50. Maybe 60, something like that. So not truly a fair matchup, and it'll probably be done very quickly. But just want to kind of go over a few things about what I do and how I do things. So let's get into it. What I've done is I trained a bunch of bows earlier, and I went into my talents, and down here at the bottom of my talents, I actually added in the Bowman, the 50%, or not 50%, but the all of the Bowman attack, which actually goes out to 53% attack, which is just to kind of buff them a little bit. And I'm not going to bring cavalry in. Now that's a little counterintuitive because they're faster, but they also die quicker, especially if we get those spears against them. So that's just something that I want to kind of experiment with a little bit. And then for my commander, I went infantry spear here to buff those two troop types, since those are the ones I'll be bringing in. And then I'm making my Lord Annie because she's going to be in one of my formations no matter what. So just something to think about. There's no use using the army buff here because you're not going to gain any more troops in that aspect. But so now I'm going to go enter here, and then I'm going to clear everything out. And first thing I'm going to do is I want to get all the bows that I can. I want tier 4 bow, all tier 4 spear, and all my tier 4 infantry as well. So then from there, I still have looks like about 600,000, a little less than 600,000 left that I can try to put in. So I think what I'm going to do is, so I have 600,000 bow, which might not quite fill up what I need to fill. So I think at this point I'll just throw in the rest of these bows, these tier 3s, and then I still have about close to 350, so maybe like 175 of these here. So that's not too much. That's good right there. See what that does. 177, something like that. How's that? 170. That's perfect. There you go. So I think that's about what I'm going to do. Keep all the cav out there because I'm not going to do them as well. So let's go with that. I've already changed my castle skin over, so we're good with boom. It pops us up, and you can see already 35 to 27, which is going to, that gap's going to increase significantly in the next 17 minutes or so. So now down here at the bottom, you can see we have the 3 armies that I had talked about before, where you can create them. So I'm gonna click on the first one, and there are certain ones that I've already looked into that I kind of want to try and put together and see how they do. It's going to be a little difficult because just because of the opponent that we have, because they're going to slaughter us very quick. There's a lot of 1.5 billion whales, or not even just their size in general, but just they have their stats are kind of ridiculous. So for this one, I'm going to put the commander. I'm going to start off with with my bows, and I'm going to do Cersei as my lead. And the reason I'm doing her that as the lead is because I'm not playing her for her total health, defense, and attack, which are so minute. I'm actually playing her because of her skill that she has there. Her 1000% goes to 3 targets, and then her other skills, and plus the rage increase. So she's actually really good when it comes to that. And I want to get her skill off as fast as I can, and that's the first one that goes off is going to be her. So that's why I'm going to put her there first. And then the next bow I want to put in is Theon, because I want his skill to go off next. And he also gives bow health, bow defense, and some total attack. Now, hopefully your bows are not going to attack you because they have that range attack, so they can kind of play back a little bit. So that's kind of where what you want to do with that is kind of play back just a little bit and be able to do that as well. to stay away from the damage. And he has a range attack, but he has the he can hit other targets as well, 5 max, so I think that's a really good commander to have in there for your bows as well. And then the last one I have is Kravras. There he is. And the reason I'm putting him in there is because he's going to give the bow attack of 150%, so he'll boost them up. His cooldown is actually 9 seconds as well instead of the 12 seconds. So like here 12 seconds and over here 12 seconds. So his will cool down faster, so he'll be able to get it off quicker as well. So that'll be a nice bonus for him. Plus you can see all his other damage he does and his other stats. So we're going to confirm with that, and that's going to bring the total that I can bring in 630,000. So there you go. You can see all my tier 4s are in there. So I'm gonna have to go down here to these tier 3s and bring them there as well. I don't have to do that. I could bring in some spears or some infantry, but I'm not going to do that because I want to keep the ranged. I want to keep them all the range attacks so they don't have to get close for those other units to attack them. So I'll go up here. I want to save this as number 1. So that's my number 1 right there. That's how you save it. You just click up there, click on there, boom. I press the 1 key. We're all set. So I press March, and there they are, all ready to go. Click back on your castle, and well, actually got to click off of this guy. There we go. Just don't highlight them. Click off of them there, and back down here you can see this. We're going to go back in. This time we're going to do the infantry march, and very similar to the Cersei one is I'm going to do put Jon Snow in there, and the reason for that is, again, not caring too much about his attack and defense and health, is more about his skill. He has a really good skill, so it grants your troops the tenacious, and it reduces your attack damage and skill damage by 100%. So it's going to take away their attack and skill damage for 4 seconds, and also grants increasing counterattack damage by 150% for 4 seconds. So if they're actually attacking those spears, then you're going to get an extra 150% attack on there, which would be really nice as well. And then my other 2, Chris is going to be one, which I think, is he at the top here? Yeah, here he is. Because Chris has has AOE, which he's used up to 5 targets, so that's something you want to do. Plus, he gives you his passive skills of attack and health are really good for your infantry. And then the very last one's going to be Seg, and he again has really good skills. It takes his rage 1,000 though, which I don't like so much. It takes him a while to get that off. So I was considering Arya instead of him, because he has pretty good pretty good stats in here, pretty good ability, I should say, not stats but abilities. But I was also considering Arya, because Arya actually sits 600 for, actually let me put him out here real quick. So he goes over here, come back down to Arya. So her rage cost is 600 where his is 1,000. So she's going to get hers off almost twice as fast as Seg. Go down a little bit so you can see there. Yeah, plus she has 150% defense. He has 100 or 75%, so half the defense, and it's total. But again, it's only one troop type, so that's not going to matter too much. She's going to do 750% damage equivalent, and which is twice as much as his. Now the difference comes in is that he reduces the target's defense and health by 150%. And that cannot stack. So 150% for their defense and their health is going to go away. Now her addition is in the next 7 seconds inflicts a target with an effect that decreases their defense by 125%, and that can stack. So that's for 3 seconds. So that's going to give you 375% decrease in defense. So 375 decrease in defense, and then you have 150 health and defense. So she's going to get hers off more. Plus she helps with defense a little bit, and then he has a weakening one, also inflicts weakened and fearful, increasing the target's attack damage by 30% and counterattack for 7 seconds. So that's actually not very, I'm going to switch those. I don't know. I just think that's actually a better, the cooldown's the same. She gets to get that damage off, or get that off better, faster. I think that's probably the way to go. Clear that. We're going to have enough there for 630. We're going to go up, put them in number 2, and then we're just going to march. And then the last one we have here is going to be the spear. And as you can see over, these are the ones that you can purchase. These are the ones you can, if you want to purchase, like, oh man, there you go. See, like that was one that I could, how much do they want for it? They want 10 black diamonds. So for 10 black diamonds, a gold Miranda is actually really, really good, especially for a spear. But so I'm going to go to Annie for the first one. And the reason you want that is she's just really, really good. I mean, with her AOE, and her healing effect. And I mean, it's just, you got to have her in there when you're dealing with spears. And then the Julian, which I haven't tried before, but he's a really good 1440% damage, but they also hurt you a little bit with his increasing the skill damage by 40% for 4 seconds of the opponent. But he also does 150% for all troop types. I kind of like that. Now I would go Miranda if I actually had Miranda, because you can see here she gives you spear, health, defense, and attack for 60%. We're not going to win this match, so I'm not going to. I mean, if I would boost it up, you can see 60%. That's an extra 110 across the board there, which is really, really good. Who did that? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with Hector, who I believe is at the top here. Oh, maybe he's not. Where did I see Hector? There he is. I say he's got to be here somewhere, so I'm gonna put Hector in there, and Hector's really good, 840%. He does to 3 different enemies as well. He does really good. He does 200% for spear defense and 200% for spear attack. So he's really good in his passive skills. So we'll put him in there, and there you can see we're gonna jack that up to, looks like 630. Put them in the 3rd slot, and then we're just gonna march, and we'll be good to go. So I will be back with some clips or some of some of the action that's going on here, and this is it. I just wanted to show you that. And and the other things as well is, so I can click on these individually about which one that I want. You can kind of you can select them. I can press 1, I can press 2, I can press 3. Once I already had them in there, you have 1, 2, and 3 down here. I can click this button here, boom, it selects them all. Or that button right next to the just left of the number 1 on your keyboard on the left hand side. If you click that, that is a select all button. I think that's called the tilde, and if you hit the tilde, that'll select them all as well. Then they'll all fall in the same. And one of the good things about not having cav is they're all similar speeds. They're not exactly the same. I believe it's the spear are the slowest, so they'll be the ones left behind. So the one with Annie will be left behind. But this will be interesting just to try to do this and see how that works as well. But as you can see down here, it'll show kind of who do you have in there, what's left in there, kind of give you an idea of what's going on. So I will be back.